Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Patricia here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, but more specifically here in Alaska. As a matter of fact, I'm in the far, far north of Alaska. And can you believe it? This is the middle of January, and I kid you not, it is 38 degrees here in the village. 38 degrees in the middle of January. What is wrong with this picture? I cannot believe it. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy winter. I saw a Facebook post the other day that said something to the effect of, if you want to get away from the snow and ice, come to Alaska. Yeah. Is that weird? I just can't believe it. Okay. So this is the card we're going to make today. And very, very, very simple. But that's what sometimes we get too complicated with our cards. And today we're going to use some markers. We are going to use black Memento ink. I'll talk about that here in just a moment. But first of all, we're going to cut our cardstock. And I used on this card, I used the crumb cake. But I got to thinking that this crumb cake, that was crumb cake. This is basic beige. I thought that basic beige might be a little bit better. So we're going to try this. First of all, I have an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and I'm going to cut it in half on the 11-inch side. So that would be 5.5. So I'm going to put it in my paper trimmer at 5.5 and cut. Now you'll notice that I used the dark brown paper trimmer and the dark brown cutter rather than the scorer. Now I could put this back in here at 4.5 because I cut this. I cut this on the 11-inch side, so I've got 5.5. Now I want to turn it the other way, and I could score it at 4.25. But what I'm going to do instead is move my paper trimmer aside. Now I will tell you this. Ooh, I want to show you something. Do you see all these little, they almost remind me of Chads, but they are little bits of cardstock because I do not have a sharp blade. So I need to definitely trim this blade in my paper trimmer and get a sharp blade. But in the meantime, I don't want to throw away this cardstock. So I'm going to take my bone folder and give that a little bit of a score, if you will, along there that will cause this raised edge to go away. Now, it's not going to cause my little like I said, those almost Chad looking things, but I can tear those, or I can take my paper snips and just cut them away. Okay, so either way, and since I've got my snips out, I'll just use those and trim that away because I do want my card to look nice. Okay, so trim those away. There we go. All right. And then, because I did not score this in the middle, I'm going to go ahead and fold it over because I do want to make a card out of it. And I'm going to match as exactly as I can those two corners. And both corners need to match. And then I'm going to take that bone folder, press it down somewhat in the middle, and give it a good crease. Okay, and I do that so that my card lays flat. If I have not given it a good crease, you see how this one is still kind of popping up, then I might need to give it a good crease again, and sometimes it'll lay a little bit flatter. This one isn't seeming to want it. There we go. Now it's laying nice and flat. Okay, so sometimes you just have to keep trying at it. Okay, so the stamp sets that I'm going to use today are spring corners. And this one, I love a corner sentiment. It's just so, I don't know, it's different. Maybe that's it. Wishing you an amazing day. Thank you for everything. Always in your corner. Haha. Through the happy and sad. Happy we are friends. And then there are you brighten my day. You amaze me and happy birthday. So these could even be inside sentiments. But you know what? You could put wishing you an amazing day on the outside or inside, and then thank you for everything, on the reverse. I don't know, just a thought. But thanking you for everything, and you brighten my day on the inside. Love it. Okay, so this is a good sentiment stamp set, but there's also a stamp set, Corner in Bloom, that is a celebration item. The celebration items are free with either a $60 or a $120 purchase. And yes, that amount has gone up from previous years, but it has been literally decades, I don't even know how long, forever anyway, since that price point has gone up. And this particular one is with a $120 purchase. Nice stamp set. Okay, so what we're going to do, I've already pulled the stamp sets out the stamps out that I want. I will show you that this one does have, this is the spring corners. This one is an online exclusive, I believe. There is a die set that you can get with this one. I love them. This corner die is amazing, and then just some corner items that you can use, but we're not going to use any dies in this particular one. In this particular card. I will say this though, this die would make a really cute, or this one, a cute addition to the corner of this card, but we're not doing that today. Okay, so I've got my basic beige here, and I am going to take my die. Now, a few days ago, or it's been a while now since I've seen this, but a few days ago, I got a white stamp pad and the refill ink that goes with it. That's how you buy it. You have to fill your own white. However, some time ago, I saw somebody that did this. They took their Memento ink refill and filled a blank white stamp pad with the Memento ink. Never filled it with white and filled it. Oh my goodness, it makes an amazing stamp pad. For one, it's better, it's bigger, but it's also, this is kind of a almost, I don't even know how to describe it, but like a linen or something. And this stamp pad is our normal stamp pads, and it makes an amazing, I just love it because I love our other ones, right? Our colors. But this one, which comes with, like I said, the white, and you can use it, fill it with the Memento refill, and it makes an amazing stamp pad. Now, one thing I will say with these corners is you're very likely to get ink on that block. So you definitely want to get it off of there so that you don't get it on your card. And I'm going to go just as close as I can to the edge. Make sure, because I can see through my block, that I've got it where I want it. Do not rock it. You want to hold it on there for, a minute or not a minute, but a few seconds at any rate. And let it transfer that ink. Okay, nice. I like it. While I've got it, I've also got that other corner stamp. Stamp on there. So I'm going to ink it up, and it is pretty full. I just filled it a couple of days ago. And so be careful. And then I'm going to stamp it on here. I'll give you the measurement for this in just a minute. I think it's 2.5 by 3.5 for this little piece. Ink it up. Flick that off. There we go. Nice. And I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. I do not want to get that ink all over everything, including me or the card. So this is the chamois. I have cut this chamois down. I'll show you the whole thing here in just a second. But I do like to keep that clean. I keep my chamois in a, it's kind of like a video case, but it is one that you can purchase from us. They come in a set of 4, and I got 2 chamois. One I cut up so that I can use it in smaller pieces like you just saw me doing, and then over on this side, and it does give me the room, you know, to do like that if I choose to. So there we go. All right, let me get that out of the way for the moment. There we go. I've got these 2 stamped. I do need one more. I am going to go with, this is another one of these from the Celebration one, this one. Now it's small, but I've got a small canvas, so I kind of like that. I'm going to stamp that in the middle there. There we go. And that's all my stamping, so I am going to put away my ink. Then I want to color these, and I chose these 3 colors for my palette. This one is Daffodil Delight. This one, well, it would help if I show you guys the correct Old Olive and Cherry Cobbler. So there we go, these 3. I'm going to use the big paint end, but there is also a writing end now, or fine tip end. Now, I will say this, when I use whatever color it's going to be, whether it's a stamp pad or the blends or these markers, I like to also use this end, which is the fine tip end, on my envelope, so that what's inside matches the address and all of that. Now, I will also want to get my envelope, speaking of which, I should pull that out right now and stamp that because I am going to want to color it. So, let's get some ink on there. And we will put our little flower on it. There we go. And again, I need to clean that, so I'll put it aside. Gonna put that aside, and now let's color. I decided to go with, as I said, Cherry Cobbler, so I am just going to, and I can do it fairly quickly, color my flowers. Now, because I stamped, there we go, with the Memento, this could blend into my marker. Usually I would use blends, but on a with a watercolor, I'm saying that wrong. With the Memento ink, I would use my blends, but since this is just a little bitty space, normally for this, I should use StazOn because it won't bleed like it will when I'm doing watercolors. And I know I did not make sense on that. I'll say it again here in a few minutes and show you what I mean. But I'm trying to get this colored while I talk. And I don't know that I can do 2 things at once. That's okay. I'll get it done. Okay. So, coloring everything. I'm not being too terribly precise, but I am trying to lay down a bit of color. And I'm trying also to do what looks to me like the same kind of flowers in the same color. So I've got my Cherry Cobbler on these. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here in a minute, I'll do my, what look like daisies-ish to me. Oh, maybe this one is also cherry cobbler. So, there we go. I know you would think I could talk and color at the same time being a teacher. Yeah, that doesn't always work. But that's okay. All right. And then I'm going to put down some of the Daffodil, is this Daffodil Delight? Yes, Daffodil Delight down on, like what I said, look like daisies to me. It may not be, who knows. I am definitely not, I mean, I love flowers, but naming them is a whole different kettle of fish. Liking them and naming them, yeah, not so much. Okay. It's really not much color. Oh, I did want to say, if you are ready to be a demonstrator, you can get for free with your kit these markers. Oh my goodness, how awesome is that? And I'm not kidding. You can get 2 complete sets. So that's almost half of the markers that we have in our repertoire. And they are free. So here's what happens. You sign up to be a demonstrator. It costs $99. With that $99, you get to choose $125 worth of product. Whatever product you want. And that is entirely up to you. Matter of fact, I just did a post on the stampinwithpatricia.com about some of the things you might want to get to start yourself out with your project as a demonstrator, with your career, if you want to make it a career. But you don't have to do anything either if you don't want to. I have had quite a number of people who have signed up to be demonstrators, and all they signed up for was to get that kit and to start learning how to stamp. And these are very, very easy to color, by the way. This is about the simplest coloring you can get. I'm not doing anything other than putting a little bit of color in there, and I'm not worrying about it. I think I'm pretty much staying in the lines, but I'm not necessarily coloring every little bit of it either. I'm leaving a teensy bit of white dots here and there. But you can start with Stampin' Up. As a matter of fact, that's how I started. I started not intending to sell at all. That was the furthest thing from my mind. And then, life happens, things happened, and I changed my mind and started selling, and I could not be happier. I love it. But my intent had never been to sell a thing. And if you don't want to sell a thing, that's perfectly all right too. All right, so there we go. Oh, while we're at it, let's color this. We do want to color our little card that's going to go on the front. And we also want to color our stamp on the front of our envelope, because we never send naked envelopes, right? At least that's what I tell everyone. I have sent a naked envelope or two myself, but I try not to. I like to get them colored. Oop, I forgot to color that. Okay. So then, just going to lay down some more yellow on here. And it looks so pretty. Do you ever say that about your own work? See, I can say that about a stamp set because I didn't really design it. It's just pretty. I'm just coloring it. But if I had drawn it, now that might be a different thing. Okay, let's color this one. do like this. It's just a cute little, almost a bouquet, right? I'm at school and I can hear something making noise down the hallway. Not quite sure what it is, but I hear something. Okay, so we've got all that colored, got everything done. Now I am going to pop this up on dimensionals. And we like to pop things up because it gives them more, I want to say drama, but it gives them more definition. You can also poke these kind of in the center, and that causes the edge to pop up. But if you've got nails, you can just reach under there and grab that. Okay, and then I'm going to put this, whoopsie, right there. Make sure that it's all lined up. Well, if I can get things to go straight, there we go. Okay, and then on the inside, whoops, what did I do with my card? I had a card cut. I already said it was, well, no, that was the, well, hold on a sec, let me find it. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so the inside card is the, or inside piece is the normal 4 by 5 1/4. The little card on the front is 2.5 by 3.5. Okay, so we're really doing nothing on this, but oh, I did want to put something on. Oh, I know what I wanted to put on the inside. I have from the stamp set, let me show you this one. This is the spring corners that is in the online exclusive. This little corner piece, just so cute. Now, as I said, you could put a sentiment in there as well. You brighten my day, you amaze me, happy birthday, whatever works for you. But I am going to use this. And notice I have not glued this down yet, just in case I make a mistake in stamping this. I am going to stamp it before I glue it down. There we go. Doesn't that look neat? I just love it. And then I'm going to glue this down, whichever adhesive works for you. I do like the green glue. I have to say it gives me a little bit of wiggle room just in case I don't get it in there exactly where I want it. And straight. There we go. Okay. And there's our card. That easy, that quick. Let me get this out of the way. And here is our envelope to go with it. Now, again, as I said, you can get these free in whichever of the 4 sets that we have that you would like if you sign up to be a demonstrator. I obviously would not choose to use the yellow to write my address, but I could use either of these darker ones. And then they would also, I would probably choose the green since I don't have any yellow on the front. I mean red, the cherry cobbler. I didn't color that very well, did I? There we go. Because the yellow is just too light. They could read it, I'm sure, but it might make things a little bit difficult for the post office. So there we go. We have our card. It took us, oh, I would hazard to say less than 10 or 15 minutes. These are our 2 stamp sets. And let's see, can you see all that? You can get yourself a screenshot with it like that, right? All right, there you go. I would so appreciate a thumbs up if you would share this video with your friends, and if you would subscribe if you have not already done so. And by the way, once you subscribe, if you hit that bell, you can also get notifications anytime I post a new video. Thank you so very much. Have a good one, and I will see you next time.